How much should you rely on supplements? They are everywhere. They're interfaces like 24/7. There's commercials for them all the time. There's always some new supplement I'm seeing out there. And usually somebody's behind it and take this, it'll do this and blah, 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 blah. Are supplements really necessary? We're going to dive into all of them. Well, definitely not all of them. We're going to dive into some of them today. So strap in, get ready for episode 129. Let's go.
I've always been that skinny guy.
Why can't I gain muscle mass?
What do I do in the gym?
They said I'd always be skinny.
This is your complete source for how to gain lean muscle and break out of your skinny body. From nutrition to getting the most out of your workouts and everything in between. We know just how frustrating gaining muscle mass can be, but don't worry, we've got you covered. You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host today. And before we dive into today's content, if you have not checked out our YouTube channel, please head on over there. Please subscribe. That would be amazing. I put out a lot of content on there, 2 videos a week, and I do full workouts, all different muscle groups. I do nutritional videos, so a lot of good stuff on there that really goes well with the podcast. So if you have not checked it out, youtube.com/Bones to Bulk, or just search Bones to Bulk on YouTube. It'll pull up. All right, with that being said, let's dive in. So I know that you probably use some supplements. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're questioning taking them. Maybe you're wondering which ones you should. Maybe your friend's trying to push one on you. Maybe you have a friend who is in an MLM and they're like, oh my gosh, this supplement will change your life and cause beautiful dragons to hatch in your house. Like, for real. I mean, some of these promises that these supplements can do are outrageous. So what supplements should you be taking? And how much do supplements actually play a role with your overall fitness level? Well, first off, your nutrition needs to be the focal point, not supplements. And so often I get asked by people who are starting off, and nothing on them. Like, I was the same way when I started. I thought, hey, all I got to do is drink some more protein and lift weights and I'm going to gain muscle. And that simply isn't the case. And so it's very easy to equate those two. I think the, protein companies, a lot of them have successfully made us think there's no other way to gain muscle. And don't get me wrong, I take whey protein every single day, and I think it's important. However, taking it without supplementing it with a good diet is not the best thing to do. So the first thing I suggest is get your nutrition on track. In other words, start eating clean foods, start eating the right amounts of foods for your goals, whether it's to gain, to maintain, whatever it is, and get those things in line. That's first priority always before supplementation, because supplements are to literally supplement a healthy diet. They're not to take the place of it. And so often we think that our supplements can take the place of a healthy diet, that if I take this fat burner pill, I don't have to change the way I eat. It's just going to melt fat off me. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. And so often, a lot of companies will sell these like packages of, you get this special organic grass-fed protein. You get these pills that are fat burners. You get these other pills and these other pills. And all you got to do is take all this stuff and you'll get the body of your dreams. Well, here's what happens. There's 2 people that do this stuff. There's the people in group 1 who it works for, and they're the ones who also apply the diet change and the exercise into their life. And then there's the group that just takes the supplements and doesn't change anything else. Now, the first group, the ones who implement diet and exercise, they see results. But guess what? It's not the product. It's the fact that they're working out and eating better on a consistent basis. The second group who did not change any of that, that's why they don't get results. It has nothing to do with the product. These products are great at selling a community, at selling someone to hold you accountable, but the product itself is not necessary. And I don't say that to down any of this stuff. I know there's some good stuff out there, but in reality, it's not a requirement. Now, that being said, get your nutrition on track. So let's go through some supplements that I think are really helpful. First off, protein. Personally, for me, as a hard gainer, it's hard to get enough protein. It's hard to get enough calories in a day to maintain or to gain. And protein helps me do that very easily without just completely gorging and stuffing my face all the time. So that is why I take whey protein. I also think it's very helpful for muscle building. And rather than after a workout having to down a bunch of protein in food form, I can just drink a smoothie and be set. Okay, so that's number one. If you're not taking protein powder, you should be. You should be taking it after workout at least. And also, I recommend taking it before bed because the most muscle healing, repair, whatever you want to call it, takes place the first couple hours of our sleep. So by drinking whey protein, and I'm not talking about casein, you can do a mixture. You can do like a mixture of casein and whey protein, but you want to make sure you have some whey protein because it needs to be ready, available for that first hour or two of sleep. Second supplement I want to talk about is a pre-workout. And a pre-workout is not a requirement by any means. Sometimes I take a pre-workout. There's sometimes when I don't. It really just depends on how I'm feeling. If I feel like I have a lot of energy, then I'm not going to take a pre-workout. If I'm dragging, then I'm going to take a pre-workout. So, I'm not going to say that pre-workouts are probably the healthiest things out there. They're probably not, but it helps me get through a lot of my workouts. So I do recommend them if you're struggling, especially if you work out early in the morning. It can definitely help wake you up, get you going. Now, another thing I add to my pre-workout is creatine. And some pre-workouts actually contain creatine, so check your labels. But creatine is something that's naturally produced in our body. And think of it like kind of little powerhouses for our cells. So by taking more of it and increasing the overall level of creatine, we're essentially allowing our muscle cells to have more energy so we can lift harder, we can lift longer in the gym. So that's important. The recommended dosage is 5 grams a day. Don't take more than that. And yeah, I take that typically with my pre-workout. Now, it doesn't matter when you take this. You can take it when you wake up. You can take it in your pre-workout, your post-workout, before you go to bed. It doesn't matter. It's not a timed release thing. It's not like a pre-workout where you have to take it 30 minutes before. It's basically builds up in your body over time. So after 30 days, your levels are going to be, increased with it, and just stay consistent with it. You can do a loading phase. Personally, I didn't do that. I just set off on it, and then I know after 30 days, I'm good to go. Just stay consistent with taking it. I take it with my pre-workout because it's easy to remember taking it then. Another thing that I take is waxy maize. That's right, waxy maize. What the heck is waxy maize? So it's basically a complex carbohydrate that a lot of athletes will actually take after a strenuous game or tournament or whatever they're doing. And it's a slow release of carbohydrates to kind of restore those glycogen stores, but it doesn't give you the initial spike that dextrose or simple sugar will do by taking it. So there's less chance of it converting into fat. So that's something I take with my post shake, which also includes whey protein. Now, a couple other things, and these are, again, more personal preference. I'm not suggesting that everybody has to take these. I just kind of want to give you a guidance on some of the main ones and what their purpose is. So some other ones that I take are fish oil. I take it in a capsule form, and there is a lot of debate on whether it actually does stuff for the joints or not. Personally, I think it helps me, so I take it. Again, this is personal preference. Another thing I take is a glucosamine complex. Now, it includes glucosamine, and this is good for the joints, and it also includes things like turmeric, which is good for inflammation. It includes, I always screw this name up. It's like Bosch Wally or something like that. It's a root from this plant that also helps with basically just reducing inflammation, because lifting can be hard on your joints sometimes, and so it's good to take something to lubricate them, however you want to term it. But I find, again, that it's very helpful to me. I've been taking it for a while, and personal preference, I feel like it helps me. All right, so that literally is everything that I take in a day. That may seem like a lot, that may not seem like a lot, depending on kind of where you're coming from, the spectrum on this, but those are the core things that I think most people need. Now, again, I'm not saying everybody needs these, but if you're kind of looking for where you should start, what you should do, I highly recommend all of these things that I just listed because they are very beneficial. If you are curious about any of these, you can find more. I personally love my protein, and I have links to their products on my website. So you can go to bonestobulk.com, click on the gear supplements tab, and you can check out kind of what I use, and I love their stuff. All right, if you are on any form of social media, please hit me up. I am on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Pinterest, you name it, YouTube, and it's at Bones to Bulk everywhere. We have a great community on Facebook. You can join the group, get plugged in with a solid community of people. If you're into TikTok and lots of fun stuff, then definitely head on over there. But just reach out, send me a message, stay in touch. I love to hear from all of you. With that being said, remember, no matter what walls you're facing, you can hit any fitness goal you want. You've got this.